Sup everyone, welcome to another live stream. I'm sorry it's late. I know a lot of people have a lot of things they want to say about Dehya, the potentials, both good and bad. I've read most of the comments to my video, I guess the Hopium video where I posted talking about Dehya and her potentials. Again, I do want to reiterate, I know that there's a good chance she likely will struggle when she first comes out. Now this of course is all memes aside, right? I'm not here trying to meme today. I'm really trying to figure out, because I had a lot of fun, believe it or not, making that video. And I even saw people commenting in the comment section saying that, you know, I actually enjoy when we discuss leaks and stuff like that. I mean, am I gonna make a pivot and actually discuss leaks in the future? I don't know, because to me, what's a lot of fun and what keeps me engaged during patches is figuring stuff out, right? So basically, I would not have really started figuring out Dehya until, like, I don't know, a couple days after she gets released, and that's how I enjoy the patch. But essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm already playing next patch every time I experiment with Dehya, with these videos and whatnot. In that, is it a waste? Well, maybe not a waste, because right now I can still enjoy it, but it certainly makes next patch less engaging and interesting for myself. So I don't know going forward how I will approach leaked content. For this special case, this is the first time I've ever posted continuous I guess leak related or next patch related content. I like people also say in the comments that I thought you never looked at leaks, like what's going on, what changed. And I need to clarify something with you guys. What I always say is I never actively look out for leaks, meaning I don't go on Google every day, I don't go on Twitter every day and search Genshin leaks, newest Genshin leaks, hottest Genshin leaks. But as they get exposed to me, I have never once hid the fact that I've been exposed to them. Those are two very different things that people are claiming. On one hand, people somehow claim that I have the power to 100% avoid leaks at all time, which that's just not the case. I read my comment section, and that already exposes me to a huge risk of being exposed to specific leaks. Now, in the past, I've really tried whenever I read a comment and I notice it's kind of venturing towards the leak side, I just kind of skip to the next comment. And this is a very dangerous game, as you can see, as sometimes I don't quite stop fast enough, right? Like much like a very, very, very bad night out, you don't stop in time, and things happen, right? Things happen. So I'm telling you, and of course, I've been very, very good with dodging leaks from Twitter, dodging leaks from YouTube feeds, meaning that I'm actually pretty damn good. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm actually pretty damn good at dodging these leaks. That's why I've even been able to survive until now, to have such an amount of leaked content be exposed to me. But every single time I've been exposed to certain leaks, I've always came out and said it, and said, hey, I already know this, so we can talk about this now, because there's no point in hiding it in the bag when you already know it. So whatever I share with you guys is pretty much whatever I know, always. And I always try to make a video out of it. I always try to make a point of discussion out of it. So for people who are curious why, hey, why are you even talking about Dehya? I thought you said you don't look at leaks. Well, I don't look at leaks. I don't actively try to look for leaks, right? That's not part of what I consume as content for Genshin. But since it has been brought to my attention this time, we will continue forward with its discussion and theorizing. I guess this is what theory crafters do most of the time, and I'm kind of like stealing their gig a little bit here. But I mean, it's just me, Walrus. What can I possibly say that theory crafters have not said? And correct me if I'm wrong, theory crafters have to have at least thought about melt, right? Because being a pyro character and not really working traditionally, I think one of the first things theory crafters should have already talked about is melt. So that's what we'll go off of as well. Okay, and don't worry, this isn't just gonna be 100% random BS Go stream where I just talk about some random stuff. I will be providing some level of proof, and I will present my side of the argument in why I think Dehya. Okay, what this stream basically is a continuation from the video I made 2 days ago. Yesterday? Why did I say 2 days ago? Yesterday. Okay? So the line of thought is this for those who didn't watch the video. I'm not going to force you to go watch it, but this is the line of thought, right? So right now there's a set of currently available pyro characters that we consider to be powerful and strong. Half of them, well, not half of them, some of them are pyro carries like Yoimiya and Hu Tao, and one of them is like off-field pyro application in Zhangling. And all of these really strong, well, at least what we consider to be strong and meta pyro units are all vaporize centered pyro units. In fact, pyro units that have been introduced to us that are non-vaporize centric, we have all pretty much written off as bad and unusable, at least until Dendro. So Toma is a great example. Somebody pointed that out in the comments. So now let's follow this train of thought. Toma didn't really work, right? Toma didn't work until his burning version comp became available to us, right? Oh, yeah, and Bennett, right? Bennett is a healer buffer, but I don't really count him to be like, he's pyro and he buffs attack through and he heals. So I don't really count it. His strength is because of pyro, but his kit is broken. But strong pyro-centric characters are like Hu Tao, Yoimiya, and Zhangling, right? And why do I have our most beloved Jinyan on screen is because Jinyan Toma are great examples of failed experimental characters that HoYoverse has done. At least that's what it looked like up until this point. Because now that Dehya is about to come out, suddenly characters like Jinyan, characters like Toma, they seem to be stepping stones towards a whole new type of pyro characters. And this is what we'll also be referring to when we continue with Dehya from today's from today's discussion. Because I don't think Dehya is going to work with Vaporize. And that is a very, very strong and solid belief. I know people are going to try to force her into it. I don't think it's going to work. I don't even know her entire kit. I know a good chunk about her, but I don't know her entire full kit, like her CDs and like all the intricacies, her constellations, all of it. I know her C1 because people were like memeing about it, but I don't know anything beyond that. But I can safely say I am very confident that Dehya will just simply not work in Vaporized teams. Right? That's I'm almost willing to bet money, because even if she does work, I don't think she'll eventually, once she fully matures, she will not work in Vaporize as well as she will in Melt teams, Burgeon teams. Because HoYoverse, in order to make a Melt Pyro character, such a character cannot work with Vaporize. Why is that? Why do you think that is? It's because if it works with Vaporize, then why the hell are you going to still play them in Melt? And if it works for both, then HoYoverse is just taking their own potential income and smashing it to pieces. Right? Hold on, one moment. Jabba is doing something. Okay, I'm back. So, think about it like this, right? Think about it like this. Does this not, like, I hope this makes sense, because what is HoYoverse's end goal? What is HoYoverse's end goal? Like, I didn't talk about this in the video, but think about it from this, and this should make even more sense. What is their end goal? To do what? To make what? What do they want? What does HoYoverse want more than anything else? Please give me the Mr. Krabs quote. What does HoYoverse want? Money. Money, money, money. If you just think about it from the money's perspective, why have they not capitalized on Melt? It doesn't make sense. No matter how you think about it, it doesn't make sense, right? So my thinking is that right now the characters they have for Melt, it's just not adequate. They have struggled to make like a pyro character that's Melt centric but not Vaporize centric. Does that make sense? They have failed. I now in retrospect I'm thinking, was characters like Xinyan and Toma initially designed for Melt, but they realized, okay, it just doesn't work. We need to sustain this pyro application. We cannot have a high pyro application frequency, because if we do, like we do with Xiangling, no one's gonna play them in a Melt composition. They'll all play them in a Vaporize composition, right? When it comes to fast applications, all Vaporize compositions really enjoy that fast pyro application. The higher the scaling, the better, right? Like imagine if you have Dehya come out, and I said this in the video, I believe. Imagine Dehya comes out and she has insanely fast pyro application. She's like your traditional pyro, like a 5-star Xiangling. Just think a 5-star Xiangling is what Dehya is. Melt is dead on arrival. There's no way anyone is playing her in Melt. She immediately replaces Xiangling in like Child International, in like all these like amazing Vaporize compositions, right? Basically like Ayato comps, like you name it. All like Hydro on field will enjoy Dehya in their vape comps. That's why it's very difficult for HoYoverse to design a pyro character, like pyro off-field character, without them being playable in a vape comp. So I think Dehya is basically going to be the culmination of their experiments with Xinyan, with Toma, all the way leading up to now. It's been 2 years since they experimented with something like this, right? Like this mixed scaling, non-vape focused off-field pyro character. And this is where they arrive at. It has to be, because or you guys think they are making a bad character on purpose. They just want to make a bad character. They want to doom a character, right? So yes, it is going to take time for this character to mature. And yes, that is partly hopium and copium. That's why I say we do have to suspend our beliefs a little bit here in order for this to carry forward and make any resemblance of sense. Virus says, Walrus fast pyro allows for best chance for reverse Melt to work due to continuous pyro aura available. Now, you see, I don't quite agree with that, because fast pyro will always be better for Vaporize, at least with the rosters we have now, right? I don't think, if you compare Melt to Vaporize, and also Techie, if you make fast pyro aura, you are throwing so much money down the drain. It makes more sense for HoYoverse to make a very convoluted new system of characters that requires Cryo, Dendro, and Pyro to play Melt. Why? Because it just makes sense for money, right? Like, please enlighten me on what characters HoYoverse can milk the player base right now for Melt. There really isn't that many. They don't have they don't have a set of meta characters that people can dump their wallets into for constellations. Look at Shinhe, right? If you want to play Freeze, you got it. Like if you have a Giga Whale that wants a whale for Freeze, you got it. What about for Geo? You got it. Ito, right? Anemo, you got it. All these mono carry teams, right? But Melt has been the oldest reaction in the game that has yet, well, that's not quite true. Melt is one of the oldest ones that they have yet to fully develop and flesh out with top tier meta options for people to wail for. There are people playing 4-star melt comps, and no, HoYoverse does not like that. They do not like that. Right? So what are they gonna do? They have to make a set of 5-star characters that centers around the melt meta. It'll come. It'll happen. I just don't know if it's gonna be Dehya for sure. My line of thinking says it has to start with Dehya, because or else she will just be a terrible character, period. If she doesn't work with melt or she's not a good Burgeon unit, she's just dead. This character is just completely dead. Unless we have the copium to think that, oh, you know, there's gonna be in Natlin, they're gonna make a pyro character or something, or in Fontaine they're gonna make a hydro character that specifically synergizes with Dehya and turns her into this amazing character, right? And it's gonna be so niche, and for them to design a pyro character to be incredibly niche without incorporating any melt elements or vaporized elements, what the hell are they doing? Right? So Techie the Virus says she definitely does not work with Burgeon. E-proc's too slow. Yeah. So it seems to me that her E's entire purpose is to reapply the pyro aura in case that a fast-hitting cryo character is able to completely remove it, so that Dendro can reapply burning. I think she's simply just a burning character, and that's why on paper she looks so freaking terrible. Like, her goal is to apply a moderate amount of pyro while also not being excessive, but not way too little, just enough, while also providing some hybrid defensive capabilities to protect a future cryo on-field carry that is melt focused. That, like, think about, like, burning doesn't feel very impressive when compared to bloom or quicken, right? These are the entry level reactions, and the spread is the secondary level. Super bloom, hyper bloom, that's the secondary level. Burgeon is supposed to be the secondary level of burning, but Dehya stops at burning, and that's why it feels so awkward. This character doesn't feel complete. She doesn't feel like she hits the marks for the proper scaling that we expect her to hit, because she was never designed. Imagine Xingqiu without anyone to vape with him, right? Imagine Xingqiu, imagine what's another character I can use as an example? Like a character that would seem quite useless without a great reaction partner to synergize with them. That's pretty much what Dehya is like. We're all burdened with the curse of knowledge right now, which is very hard, right? Because we can't imagine a scenario where Xingqiu is bad, but imagine a scenario where there's no cryo character to freeze with him. There is no pyro character to vape with him. This character would feel really, really bad, because he's just here slapping hydro on people where you can't really make use of hydro. By the way, the curse of knowledge is the fact that we know something now, we cannot unknow what we know, meaning that we are now stuck with the fact that we know Xingqiu can work with Hu Tao, with like Ayaka if you want to play him in a freeze team, but we don't know that what it would feel like to not have these options, right? It would be much easier if you just started Genshin like a day or two ago, and I'm telling you this because then you won't have the curse of knowledge to hold you back. But just suspend that belief that, oh, we have blah 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 blah, like these characters to synergize with Xingqiu. But if you had no one to take advantage of his amazing hydro application, this character would also feel subpar, right? And right now, my case is that the characters that are supposed to make Dehya work and feel amazing just aren't out yet. Yes, that's a whole different conversation altogether, saying, oh, well, they're releasing these amazing, you claim to be amazing 5-star characters that don't even have their partners out yet. Isn't that like a really bad move? Why don't they release the cryo character first? Right? Why don't they release the cryo character first? But have you noticed what HoYoverse has done? They released Nilu, they released Sino before they released Nahida. Huh? Right? So That's what I'm thinking as well. Like, why would they do that, right? Why, if this is true, and they've done it in the past, like my case with Nilu, and same with Yaimiko, right? They continuously release characters prior to their maturity periods, meaning they don't have their whole team to work with. Why do they do that? Why do they do anything? Money. It's for the money. It's always money. The answer, whenever something doesn't make sense in Genshin, from a business perspective, you just have to say money. Because at this point, I don't know if HoYoverse is on purposely trying to weaken their trust with the community. Because first and foremost, they absolutely refuse to share leaks, right? They absolutely refuse to take any accountability for leaks and future content. They don't give us a roadmap. They don't talk anything. Yet at the same time, they continuously release potentially subpar characters to mess with us every now and then. This is like a recurring theme, right? People say the 0.5 curse, meaning every 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, they continuously screw the character that's being released on purpose. Eula has been thoroughly screwed, right? They released her, people got excited for her, they never touched physical carries again. Like, physical carries is pretty much is never talked about ever. And then they released Yaimiko, who didn't mature until like what, 5 patches later. Yaimiko was 2.5 and then what, 2.6, 2.7. Did we have 2.8? And it was 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 or something like that. It's like 5-6 patches it took for Yaimiko to fully come online and become the powerhouse she is today. And then what about Keqing? Right, like we could go as further back as Keqing and like and all these characters from like even 1.0. Keqing didn't really realize her full potential, you can say that, until Dendro came around, right? Isn't that BS? Yes, it is BS. But it's something HoYoverse has done time and time and time and time again. So why would they not continue doing that? And it has made them billionaires. Why did I say billionaires? It's technically just Dawei, right? But like, it's made them a $1 billion company doing this. Techie the Virus, great comment. This is Techie here puts it into word for us very well, right? Future potential after several months is a bad tactic. FOMO to the point of frustration. I love that. FOMO to the point of frustration. But that's exactly where HoYoverse wants you. They want you to not know. They want you, like, sure, you can look at leaks, but can you look at leaks 2 years into the future? What about it? Like, what about a year into the future? Like, right? How much of the future leaks can you even reliably rely on? They know we look at leaks, but now their tactics to combat us to a certain degree is make content so far in the future that there are no possible leaks that even to exist. The only way you can look at those leaks is if you live inside Dawei's brain. Like, that's the only way, because only very few high up select people in HoYoverse right now knows exactly what will happen, maybe, or at least the key plot points or the key development directions for like Fontaine, for Natlin, Shiznaya, post Shiznaya. You have no idea what the hell is happening. You can only speculate. And I get it. I keep saying that's why Theory Crafters has like such a huge following in this community, is that the only way for people to reliably peer into the future is to extrapolate data from currently available units as well as tendencies from HoYoverse in the past to project a potential outcome in the near or distant future. That's the only way. You cannot like reliably consume leaks and follow them to the dot, because like, it's not even HoYoverse trying to mess with us at this point. It's just that things are subject to change. They're not going to stay the same. Like HoYoverse, Dawei, all these people are constantly evolving as individuals, becoming better at doing certain things. And by the time it's time to release a certain character or it's time to finalize a certain meta shift, they might have a whole different idea, right? I think for most people, what leaks they really rely on is just character models. They just want to see, like, okay, a new, I don't know, a new Geo character is coming. Oh, look, that's cool. A new Cryo, that's cool. A new Hydro, that's cool. But like any further than that, the leaks aren't as reliable as like maybe a patch before. Once it's in the beta, that's when we can really say, okay, this thing probably is getting finalized relatively soon. The general direction is there. And that's why I'm telling you right now, man, and women and everyone in between, I'm telling you that Dehya is not a traditional Pyro character. Not a on-field character, not an off-field character. The best comparison we can draw to is characters like Xinyan. And in fact, Xinyan, I'm telling you right now, the more you look into this, the crazier this gets. Like, if you play Xinyan, where's my Ganyu? Ganyu, Xinyan, Nahida, and then where's my Kazuha? Kazuha, where are you? Oh, there it is. This team, okay, it's first and foremost, it's not good. It's not amazing or anything, but this team isn't bad. And oh, my Genshin crashed. Wait, Hoyoverse. Come on, Hoyoverse. Wait, they're on to me. They're on to me. Wait, Hoyoverse terminated my Genshin. Oh, wait, Hoyoverse, we can talk about this. I mean, the character's coming out in like a week. The hell? Why? Come on. Oh, that is awkward. Oh, we have One Wing Angel Seth throughout this Xinyan Darkson Pyro Claymore equals the worst card in the game. Dehya slightly better than Amber Pattern. Right. That's also a train of thought. I think, like, this is not me saying that Dehya is going to be meta. I don't think she is going to be super meta even once Melt fully gets realized. It's because Melt just seems like it's a little too expensive to build currently. With the need of a Nahida or like a Dendro applicator, right? You need a consistent off-field Dendro applicator. And I don't know where the hell Hoyoverse is going to pull one out of their butt cheeks, but they have to somehow alleviate stress off of Nahida first. Like, they need more Dendro characters that is capable of applying Dendro off-field. Without that, like, Melt would never truly evolve as a reaction, right? So if you think along this line of thought, they have to make another Dendro character now, apart from Nahida, that applies a lot of Dendro when they're not even on field to help. Like, for example, okay, we're back in. Look at this. Look at Nahida, and what is this team missing first and foremost? What is this team missing? A healer. I need a healer on this team, right? Xinyan doesn't heal. She shields, which is good. It's like a pseudo defensive unit. I have my cryo, my melt character. So Ganyu is a filler, right? We have our Nahida, which is our Dendro applicator. We can't get rid of this. We cannot. And then we have Kazuha, which is our Viridescent user, which we also cannot get rid of. So we need a healer. Look at Nahida. Nahida right now doesn't necessarily work in this team. She just doesn't. She works right now because she's the best option we got. Right? So, I mean, why don't we use Ganyu Zhongli and Sunfire Jean? I mean, we could, We could, but in order to take full advantage of the melt that we have now, the best version of it, we want Dendro characters, especially Nahida helps with her insane EM buffs, right? I can see a case maybe for Nahida and plus another Dendro character to get even more, right? To get the Dendro resonance. So imagine we get rid of Kazuha, this one, and then we get, let's say for example, actually we can maybe get Yao Yao in here, but we lose the Viridescence. We get Yao Yao in here. Something like this I can also see potentially working, but then it puts a lot of burden back onto Xinyan. The goal, the end goal is to have Ganyu be able to burst and use her charge attack potentially. But then again, you don't apply that much pyro. Maybe melt is designed to be a more infrequent reaction, meaning you cannot be proccing it as fast, because there's ICD at the end of the day, right? What is it? Like the default ICD I recall is 2.5 seconds or something like that. So every reaction in the game has at minimum a 2.5 second ICD. So you cannot even proc melt faster than 2.5, like once every 2.5 seconds, correct? Ganyu doesn't have ICD on Uncharted. Right, and that's why C6 Ganyu sounds kind of broken, does it not? Does it not? And I remember each instance, oh right, it doesn't each instance of your skills have a different ICD. So Ganyu's elemental skill has a different ICD from her charge attack, that has a different ICD from her burst, right? So by that line of thought, you need to apply pyro fast enough. Like you have to apply pyro fast enough to the point where her burst procs it, and then her E can proc it again, and then her charge attack can proc it again. Right? That's practically like, wow, that is like, can that all happen? That's like 1 second or 1.5 seconds for 3 melt procs. Okay, let's test something in the abyss. Let's do this. Let's bring Kazuha back. This is not a good team to bring into the abyss. I'm just saying. You will get your cheeks clapped. I'm just trying to see the application. All right, I'm just simply trying to see the application, because in my head, we should give her this one. Or should we give her this one for energy recharge? Because we want her burst up ASAP. Not Dendro. Other party member increased attack is increased by 4 for each one who is the same as the equipment character. 50 for, okay, yeah, this sounds good. We'll rock this one. Oh, we do not have a defense piece. We have like energy attack, and I'm just gonna go with elemental mastery. I mean energy recharge, because I want it ASAP. Crit rate, whatever. And for this one, we will run her shield scales off of defense. Oh my god, defense. Bro, where do you even go to get a defense? Should I just do pyro damage? Whatever. I'm just gonna do pyro damage because I can't bother to fully min-max. She has... But yeah, I'm just testing her application. So I want as much energy recharge as possible to try out her burst. I just want to see like how much can we get, right, in terms of application. This is the test here. Toma is also a great character to use, but I don't think... Oh, I mean, I have my Toma at level 70, so we can try Toma as well. But like I'm telling you guys, this has to be the way forward. Where's okay. I forgot my team. Oh, no. I got it. Kazuha. Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So this is what we're gonna do. Damn it. It eats up the pyro. So the pyro application here is not good enough. With Ganyu's burst, the pyro is gone. I think without the burst, maybe it'll survive. Without C6, I think we could really take advantage of this. Is the aura still on? It is. This is pretty much like how we will be playing Dehya, like in my opinion. This is okay. Let's try with the burst again. Oh, it's the electro thing that kind of that removes it, doesn't it? Yeah, and then it's gone. The Jinyan doesn't even have enough pyro application to deal with this. We need a pyro character that applies more pyro, continuous pyro application. Let me tell you, in my mind, Dehya has enough to make sure even in this situation, her pyro won't get overwritten. Oh no, this is gonna go with Electro, no? Yeah, it goes with Electro. There's Xiangling for that, I know, but Xiangling is an overkill, in my opinion. You don't need that much. Sure, she can get the job done, but you don't need that much. And Xiangling needs someone else to help her keep up the particles to use her burst on cooldown. Right, like, because Xiangling needs a battery in this team. So it's like... The problem right now is Jinyan gets too far away from the character, right? So like right now, if we stay like on their faces, maybe it'll be okay. If we stay right on their faces, maybe because of Jinyan's... Oh, my shield's gone already, so then Jinyan doesn't work. And without a shielder, without somebody to mitigate, Xiangling doesn't... Ganyu doesn't even have a very good time dealing with this. But if it's just Ganyu's charge attack, I think it's fine. Like, we will never proc it faster than it gets reapplied. So with the case of Nahida, so if it's just Ganyu's elemental skill and charge attack, you cannot destroy. Oh my god, I'm gonna. This floor is also difficult because it does have the electro application as well. But if it's just her charge attack, oh my god, I'm gonna die. If it's just her charge attack, you cannot remove the pyro. It's impossible. Like if we don't use the burst, if we use elemental skill and we use charge attack, without the electro aura, I don't think this is going anywhere. But you see, with electro, then it's removed because it's overloaded, right? At least that's how I interpret it to be. So with elemental skill, you can't remove it. Like even without Kazuha, you won't be able to remove the thing. But I think with the burst, actually, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. There's not you need reapplication, but it's not that fast. You see, if in between there, every 2.5 seconds, I had a reapplication of pyro, then it will sustain it. Even through Ganyu's burst, it will sustain it as long as there's no interference with like a third, like an overload or a vaporized reaction. Yeah. Superconduct even Superconduct came out. But you guys see my point, right? If Dehya has at least a pyro application, AoE pyro application every couple seconds, she'll have more than enough to sustain the burning effect to the point where it likely will let Ganyu, like in my opinion, I think it'll be no problem even in this chamber with this electro like overloading with your units with the reaction. Even with that, I think like what people were saying, like what 2.5 seconds for Dehya is more than enough. Like, and of course we don't want her to apply any more than that. Why? Not because it's not going to be beneficial to melt. It will, don't get me wrong, it will, but it'll be more beneficial to who? To Vaporize. Vaporize would love a character that can apply fast. Sorry. I'm getting a little distracted because I just don't want to die. But as long as the electro doesn't come in, I think this is fine. Yeah. I can't tell if it's the electro or the... I don't think that was electro. Maybe it's just too much. Yeah, but the charge attacks by itself works really, really well. JMax is, but 3 seconds per tick is too long. Is it too long? Maybe for Ganyu it is too long. Any pyro can do that though, I feel like. Yeah, but you won't use Xiangling like this because it's a waste. Xiangling works better in vaporized teams. Fight Masanori. Listen, chat. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you guys something very disappointing. I don't think I have that guy unlocked. I don't think I've ever done that quest. I'd have never fought Masanori. 2.5 seconds is slow. Exactly. Is there another character that like how long is Toma? Does Toma have faster application? Does Toma have faster application than Jinyan? Toma is 3 seconds too. Is 2.5 the sweet spot? Did they mathematically work out 2.5 seconds? It's because people were saying Dehya has 2.5, and why 2.5? Right? Is the number 2.5 specific? 2.5 overlaps with the ICD, does it not? 2.5 is the same as the ICD, so the burst ICD, the elemental skill ICD, and the charge attack ICD. So the fact that they made it 2.5 seconds, they're trying to basically help you reset exactly when the ICD resets. Right? That's what they're doing. Yeah, Ganyu charge attack has no ICD, but you can't, like, her charge attack, unless you have C6, I believe every charge attack is what? 1 point, how many seconds? 5 seconds? How long does Ganyu's charge attack wind up for? 1, 2. Okay, so it's like almost 2 seconds. Like 2 seconds, right? 1. Okay, wait. 1, 2. Pretty much, like, I would say 1.8 seconds. So like, yeah, you can take advantage of Ganyu's charge attack and like no ICD in between. Like that's why Ganyu C6 is so broken. Once Melt becomes meta, this freaking constellation will be so damn busted. Right? Because she'll have how many? She'll have 3 or no? She'll have 2 elemental skills. So she'll release 2 like Melt charge attacks. Okay, Toma. What are we running for Toma here? Let's give him this spear so we can get some more energy regen. Because how much? I don't even remember how much was his. Oh my. Okay. Let's play it like this. Am I blind or do I not have a Favonius sword? Oh, I do have a Favonius sword. It's right here. Can I level it up a little bit? Nope, obviously not. We're rocking a level 20 Favonius sword. We'll give Toma the same artifacts. We'll just give him whatever we gave Jinyan. I'm too lazy to find an optimized one. I'm just going in to go try out their Oh, there's a problem with Toma. What is Jinyan's what is Dehya's what is her burst cost? If somebody says 80, I'm about to lose my mind here. I might just lose all hope. Dehya's 70. Okay. I was hoping for 60. We'll take 70. 100. No way. No. Oh. Don't mind if I do. Look away, chat. Look away, chat. Give me that. Look away, chat. Listen, this is for science. This is for science. This is what theory crafters have to do, right? They just go in and just run a bunch of tests. We need Toma. We need him. Now we even have let's just take this. How do you use Toma? Was it elemental skill into burst? I remember it was elemental skill into burst. Goddamn. No, our pyro is gone. But we can reapply it, right? No? I thought we can reapply it. Wait, Toma, where's our accompanied attack? Wait, oh, does it only work with pyro characters? Is that why? Oh my god, I think we might have screwed ourselves here. Oh, there it is. Boom, boom, and it's gone because, man, I know Xiangling works. Like, of course, like like this is the worst feeling is that all vape pyro supports can work, but for melt, but not all melt pyro supports can work for vape. By this line of thinking, right? I mean, the pyro is on as long as we don't use anything else, which sucks, man. I really don't like that. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of this theory that I'm proposing either, but it's the only one that makes sense, hence why like I have to just double down on it. What's that smell? I think, oh, Michi, did you poop? It smells like duk in here. So the pyro is reapplied and it's gone. Hurts my head. I mean, we can try Xiangling, sure. If people want to see, we can try Xiangling. But the problem with Xiangling now also is, first and foremost, she has a energy issue without Bennett, which we can do our best to circumvent it, but you know, we will run into this issue. But wait, what did I just do? Oh, I gave her the wrong hands. We'll do this. We will give her the pyro. And we'll give her crit rate. This should be good. 231 should be good. Xiangling obviously is the queen of pyro application. She is the best. Where is Ganyu? Nahida. Xiangling. Oh, there she is. And boom, boom. We'll go like this. Bro, run emblem would. I'm just running the same artifact set. Listen, it's not about the damage runner. Right now, our biggest problem is keeping the freaking pyro on the enemies. I mean, we need a shielder as well. We need somebody to give us anti-interruption. Now we have to stay really close to this dude. Oh, where did our wait, where did our It's hilarious that our pyronado wore out before our thing before we were able to test anything. And it's gone. Bro! Someone tell me, how long does Dehya's field last? If Dehya's field lasts longer than pyronado, then we are onto something. We're legitimately onto something here. Don't Ganyu out, but that's what we're testing. We have to Ganyu out. If we don't Ganyu out, every pyro character works. The whole point is to Ganyu out to see if it works. Do I even have Jiangling? Wait, do I not have Jiangling as C4? I have to. There's no way I don't. You're scaring me right now. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby. Yes. It works. Xiangling for sure works. How fast is Xiangling's application? It's also my question. And also the way they're designing this, it makes me feel like they melt might be like a one-shot build, whereas vaporize you can do like many vaporize, but I think melt might be designed to be like a one-shot build. How long does Xiangling's Pyronadal take to apply Pyro once? Like, how long did it take to do one circle? It's like 1 second or something like that. Melt is a one-shot thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need fast applications like Xiangling, because the whole point with Melt should be like a couple hits and the enemies should be dead, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they make a new cryo character that's kind of like Ganyu with high scaling in the cryo unit, that basically like let's say a spear unit that has like one really heavy hit, or they turn their burst on and they turn into like a cryo Ito. Think of like a cryo Ito, or maybe less frequent hits, but they're like huge hits, and then it's just like a couple melts and you're doing like 1 million. Like, think Hu Tao, but half the number of hits for her charge attack. Because Hu Tao, if you use all 8 or 9 of her charge attacks plus you vape, right? You vape all of them, you can get easily up to 1 million, right? Think that, but less frequent, and you're also hitting about 1 million in a similar number of time. Use Bennett, his E has a low cooldown. Yeah, we cannot though. We need somebody who's off field. Cryo D-Look. Yeah, someone like D-Look, basically. One huge cryo hit that covers the whole area when all your buffs and things are going, and you just bam and you go for it. Did you see the Genshin GG tier list update? Is this... Did they screw up? What happened? What happened to Genshin GG? Let me see. SS. Like, this is what I don't get. Why have so many S's? Why not just S tier, A tier, B, C, D? Like, what's the point of S and an SS and an SSS? Like, the S's start losing meaning, if you know what I mean. The S's start losing meaning. Like we have an S tier, we have an S plus tier, and then we have an SS plus. Why don't we just push some characters into B tier? Like, I don't get. Listen, I will never understand why there are so many SSSSSS in some tier lists. What did they update? I'll hate them. I mean, I agree. C0 I'll hate them is certainly one of the best characters in the game. I wouldn't put Kokomi in SS plus though. I would put Kokomi in S plus. Shenhe probably is an S plus. Shenhe most likely is around S. Farozan isn't S plus either. She's S. Same for Yunjin. And Goro. I think Goro, they're where's Kujosara? Where's Kujosara? Oh yeah, Sara. Yeah, they put all these like buffers into S plus. I don't think they're S plus tier. I think all of them are S tier. You're telling me Sara is in the same tier as Hu Tao, Ayaka, and Tartaglia, which just doesn't make sense. Same with Goro. They don't belong here. I think Kokomi, Hu Tao, Tartaglia, Ayaka, they're like on the same level. I don't see any mid. Venti is not S tier. Get that shit out of there. Venti is not S tiered anymore. Venti is A tier at best on a good day. In like Venti, look, listen, Venti is either A or B tier normally, or SSSSSSSSS plus tier, in a tier all in himself, all by himself when the abyss calls for him. Right? If actually let's just go over this a little bit, because this listen, Venti is either utterly busted ass broken, like just completely busted character. Like he needs to, there needs to be 3 tier lists above SS plus for Venti to belong when during his prime, and whenever the abyss needs him, he is like irrefutably the best character in the game, or he's usually somewhere around A or B tier. It's there is no in between. There's no in between. On a daily basis, on like 90% of the abyss, he is like A or B tier. No, like really, if you there, like maybe you can make a case, like if you're talking about 9 to 11, floor 9 to 11, he is still SS tier, or maybe S plus tier, I would even say. But once you get into floor 12, this man drops off like off a cliff, right? Like a boulder being tossed over a cliffside. If we're talking strictly Abyss 12, he is usually not S tier. Usually not. You're gonna say Venti is as good of a character right now, right, as Kaching, which I don't even think so. I don't think that's the case. I think more people use Zhao and Wanderer than Venti for sure. More people definitely use Sino, Ito, like all these great 5-star characters. All the 5-star characters, all the limited 5-star characters in this tier right now is being utilized more than Venti. And I think at worst, they're double his usage. I know, usage rate, cringe. But the fact, why is nobody using him? Right? Then explain to me this. Why does no one use him? Why do so little people use him? There has to be a reason. It can't be because, oh, he's too good, that's why we don't use him. No, it's maybe because he sucks. And there are better options. There are just better options. I cannot have a normal conversation with people who tell me that Venti is just as good as like the other Archons, and he's not like heavily underutilized and his kit is severely outdated. I think Venti should be the only character that can group big enemies. I think we should let Venti group Ruin Guards. I think we should let Venti group the Meta Churls. Every unit the guy can blow away mountains in his Archon form. The man can literally flatten lands with the amount of wind he commands, and you're telling me he can't pull like a 3-meter tall metal robot? That is BS beyond belief. And I like, why even have this niche if the Archon in this niche isn't the best at what he does? What the? Like, how can you have a non-Archon, a Nemo unit, like outperform him? How? How is this acceptable? Name one Geo unit that is better at Zhongli's niche than Zhongli is. Right? Name one Electro unit that is better than Raiden's niche at Raiden than Raiden is. Oh my god. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, I'm not trying to dog on Venti. I'm just saying he doesn't deserve this treatment. They need to make him Archon worthy. That's what I'm frustrated about. It's like an Archon character. Yes, do I have him as C4? Of course I do. Does that frustrate me a little bit? Not really, because the fact that I have him as C4 is completely irrelevant from how powerful he was. I was going for D-Look when the game first came out, and I didn't get D-Look, but I got C4 Venti, and I had to pull the plug on that because I then continued to spend 1.5 like K dollars on the standard banner, or my Venti would be C6, which would hurt even more, right? So my point here is that it's not right for an Archon to feel this underwhelming. Techie the Walrus says, Walrus, you drank so much wine, he can't even aim his Q now, let alone the Archon form. Dude, I'm telling you, if they just let us aim the Q, or like let us place the Q where we want, why can't they, for example, why can't they, where's Kaching? Why can't they just let us place his burst skill like how we do Kaching? Hold up. Oh, or I'll hate them. Right? Or I'll hate them. Why not, when we press and hold our Q or our burst, give us this. Let us do this. What is so hard about this? You have it in the game. Just, oh, I want a burst here. I want Venti's burst to go here. Then just put it here. Just a simple, a simple fix. Just like that. Because right now, listen, right now it's so annoying because right now, let's pick some targets, right? Let's say this is a monster and that's a monster. And right now you want your burst to go here, right? How are you going to achieve that, right? If you want your Venti's burst to land exactly where I just pointed, right here. There's a mob over there. There's a mob over here. You want the burst right here. How are you going to do it? Right? How are you going to do it? Someone in chat. Like, I don't think you can even explain how to do it within like 2 to 3, like 2 sentences. Like the fact you gotta say like, oh yeah, just move back and run back, bring the mobs to around here. So then when they're roughly like here and lined up in a straight linear line, so then you and the mob and the point where you want to make your ult calculated with the distance of Venti's maximum distance is reached, and then you stop, you turn back, you face the mob, and then you burst. And oh, but let me tell you, if the mob suddenly like deviate, then your burst goes there, and then the other mob is like here, and then your Venti burst is over there. That's so BS. Right? Like, for example, if you want the burst here, you gotta either A, run over here, pass to this point, so then the other monsters start to chase you over towards this direction, and then this monster obviously will chase you towards this direction, and then you shoot your burst, and then it'll land here. And then what's more BS is if these mobs, like God forbid, they can blink onto your ass, so then your burst is sitting back here like, oh look, I'm just chilling over here, la 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 la, look, I'm Venti's burst, and then you're getting dogged over here by the monsters who like phase shifted on your face, and you're like, no, over here, come back over here, come over here, and then the monsters for this time for some reason just decide to just chill and float there and not move for the next 2-3 seconds. Sounds familiar? It's ridiculous. The application is just ridiculous. It's very difficult to perfect and aim it every single time. People who defend Venti's ult mechanic are the same people who defend like Eula, saying she's SS plus tier better than any other character in the game. It's the same logic. There is no logic. That's the logic. It's just you like the character, or you want to just be different. You want to be the guy who's going against the grain, so you'll disagree for the sake of disagreeing, as opposed to making sound logical inputs. Right? So like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying like you cannot like Venti, you cannot like Eula. I'm saying you can like whoever you want, but it's disingenuous to say they are like really good, really popular, or everybody should play them. And oh, the fact that nobody plays them is not because they're bad, but it's because they're misunderstood, and or just players are bad, right? And these people are the same people who says like, oh, you don't need to try to play Genshin because it's so easy, right? And like, it's the same group of people. I swear to God. I have a video scheduled for Eula, and because so many people keep asking me like, why do we keep hating on Eula? What's wrong with Eula? Like actually, comparatively, what is wrong with Eula compared to other DPS? Now, for the vast majority of you, I don't need to spell it out why Eula is wrong, but don't worry, wait for that video. We're about to get dogged on by the Eula mains. We're just making enemies out of everybody. We got like the Hu Tao mains on our asses. We got the Raiden mains on our asses. We got the Eula mains that are about to be on our asses. Yeah, like, good fun. We got the Zhao mains on our asses. You know, and Venti mains are definitely on our asses. Whatever number of them are left, I think like a total number of 5 of them. I'm just saying, it ain't easy saying the truth sometimes. That's right. Calvin GA says also Kazuha better than Venti, not because of CC. It's the ease of use and application. It's simply the ease of use and application. I'm telling you right now, let us choose where we put Venti's burst, and immediately Venti shoots back up. That's the only difference you need to make for these characters. Let us pick where we shoot Venti's burst, like we do with Alhaitham's elemental skill, Kaching's elemental skill. Let us do this. Let us choose where we want to put Venti's burst, and immediately this character, he's gonna be back. His burst actually has a great, because of his passive talent, he has a great effect. He's like a little tiny battery for elemental teams. Little tiny elemental team batteries. Whereas Raiden is a universal battery, even for like physical, all team battery. Venti has the ability to battery like elemental teams with his talent, which is cool. Thesis says, "What's Venti main? I know all go for his C6, so they play him as a C6 DPS, so his base kit doesn't matter." But is Venti C6 DPS better than Kazuha C6 DPS? I think even in that regard, I think Venti loses. I don't know though. I think he does. Venti's ult should just center on self. Yeah, I think so as well. I think that would have been a great design feature. The fact they had him shoot his burst out is, I think, and then decided to make monsters that are unsuckable is just a huge slap to the face. Prakara says, is C1 Yelan worth going for if you already have Aqua? If you plan to, yeah, like if you play her a lot, she's a core, one of your core units. I think C1 is worth it for sure. Yelan constellations are one of the most useful constellations in the whole game, and the most broken. The higher you get, the better it becomes. I'm so sad. I am so sad for Venti. What a, like, such a wasted potential as well. This uses Venti C6 is better because it buffs his anemo damage and shred a ton of anemo resist. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I've never really seen like a Venti C6 carry, but I know Kazuha C6 is pretty whack. This character, I like Hoyoverse also has a tendency to make C6 characters start becoming like universal, like, oh, supports can become DPSs and vice versa. Right, like DPSs sometimes scale towards having supportive capabilities, and then supports start to scale towards having DPS capabilities. Wait, what? Wait, what? Look at this. This is Kazuha's. Oh, okay, that's C4. Okay, Kazuha's C4. I never realized it. When gliding, Kazuha regenerates 2 energy per second. I never noticed that. What? So basically, they're forcing you to use his elemental skill and hover in the air, right? Like that's what they're trying to get you to do. That is so weird. Like basically, Kazuha is a very fluid character. But basically, with his C4, they're basically wanting you to do this. Huh? Like this. Or right when you get back down, you plunge. Because if you plunge, you get that anemo suction, right? That is so bizarre. Like, when gliding. For overworld, I can see, but Kazuha has no energy issues as well. It's not like he had, like my C0 Kazuha gets his burst pretty much on cooldown. Like, sure, this is gonna get him there even faster, but like it doesn't matter at all. Like this might as well not exist. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Kazuha C1, C2 are insane though. This is okay. His C1 is good, but his C2 is where it's at. Like this, that's a lot of elemental mastery. Increase the elemental mastery of characters within the field. Oh my god. Wait, imagine if you had Ganyu or like a future cryo carry with Kazuha C2, with Freedom Sworn, with Nahida. Oh my god, you're gonna have like what? Like 1500 elemental mastery? Faster is good to help recovering other team. Okay, yeah, I can see. Like regenerate 3 or 4 energy for Kazuha respectively. So 3 or 4. And so the particles are, I'm assuming anemo particles, right? Like the green anemo particles. I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe he can start acting as a bit more of a battery for his team. I don't know. But like, yeah, I find it very weird how they gave him this. This one gains a Nemo infusion for 5 seconds. Each point of elemental mastery will increase the damage dealt by Kazuha, normal and charge attack and plunge attacks by 0.2%. I don't know. Kazuha sounds pretty cracked at C6 as well. I know a couple people who likes playing him as C6, like Flowcat. Flowcat plays him as C6. Look, I'm activating my Kazuha C4. Kisapola says, I'm saving for C6 Yelena. I'm sold on her. Yeah, C6 Yelena beats the game by herself, pretty much. Kazuha needs about 160 plus ER. Well, that depends on what sword you play him on, right? For example, like mine right now is 167. What am I even running him on? Oh, yeah. And I have him on a triple elemental mastery. And that's with Favonius, right? And that's with the level 20 Favonius. I'm running a level 20 Favonius on him. I have 167. Oftentimes, though, I prefer to actually run this sword. So this is probably a more accurate representation. 194, right? With triple elemental... Oh, not triple elemental mastery. I have a Nemo damage here. But you get my point. This character... Like, he doesn't have much energy issues. It doesn't have much, especially when I run him on a sack sword, because I get 2 elemental skills. I don't really use him for much of damage. I use him pretty much to apply the viridescence and apply the elements and aura shred and all that good stuff. He's good. Amazing. Imagine spending $2K to C6 Yelan and then you get walled by a Hydro Abyss Mage. Hydro Abyss Mages are probably one of the easier ones to deal with though. But like if you run into the Hydro Lector, that's when you're gonna be, you know, on the floor. Oh no! Kazuha! Well, we're gonna be spending the rest of the live stream in here. I'm a bird. Caw-caw, caw-caw. Abyss Hydro Herald Lecter. I don't remember what the name was. C6 Yelan versus C6 Raiden. I would say C6 Yelan is better. C6 Raiden is like a pseudo support character as well, though. You have to understand. Her C6, I believe, was it her C6 or C4? Reduces the cooldown of your team's elemental burst. Hydro Herald. Hydro Abyss Herald. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I think I will have to give the cake to C6 Yelan over Raiden. Raiden stops becoming much better after C2 and C3. Once you get Raiden to C3, she pretty much peaks. Everything after that is good, but it's just like little extra stuff, right? Like you don't really need it. I mean, you don't need C2, but C2 is amazing for Raiden. It's very noticeable, whereas her C4, C6, not so much. More important, someone remember the TCG. Like, okay, this is the thing I also said about the TCG. The fact that nobody is talking about it doesn't mean that nobody plays it. A lot of people would say, oh, see, no one's talking about it anymore. The TCG is dead. Well, not necessarily. People still play it. It's just there's no meta shifts in the TCG. There's very little update towards it. So naturally, if there's nothing new, people won't really talk about it, right? It's kind of like, when was the last time we talked about Eula? When her last rerun is. We only talk about these characters. Look at like the videos people release on Genshin. Is it not like, look at who are they building right now? What characters are everybody talking about right now? Hu Tao and Yelan, because they're relevant. They're currently relevant, right? Like, oh, how come nobody is making Kazuha videos now? How come? Well, let me tell you, if Kazuha is making a rerun, you bet Ziox is making an updated Kazuha guide, right? It's just whatever is currently in the moment popular and rerunning and or received a massive update, people are going to talk about it. If next patch we get a whole big ass TCG update, let's say we get a bunch more new cards, you know, people are going to make videos about it. Like all the people are going to be like, oh my god, TCG meta has shifted. It's not necessarily that nobody talking about it. It's just that there's nothing to talk about. They haven't really done much with the game mode. I don't even play with C2 Raiden anymore because she makes the game too easy. Well, see, there you have it. C2 Raiden pretty much already trivializes everything. There are people who say C0 character trivializes things. So like I'll hate them. I honestly feel like I'll hate them is like I feel like the whole Hyper Bloom thing is just like it's a huge slap in the face for anybody who invested into like other carries. You know, if you're somebody who always wants the best thing available to you, Hyper Bloom Alhaitham probably is leaves a very bad taste in your mouth. C3 Raiden or C6 Yelan? C6 Yelan for sure. Raiden can't even beat Yelan at C6, so C3 Raiden is not really gonna beat Yelan. But if you're talking about value, I think C3 Yelan wins for value, because to get a C6 5-star, that's very expensive. C3 is much cheaper. It's like half cost, right? A little more than half cost, but value wise, Raiden is more valuable at C3. I even say C2 Raiden is just a little worse than C6 Yelan, but value wise, it's so much better. Who is the highest DPS in the game? I think right now, theoretically, it's Zhao when he's fighting like a billion enemies, is it not? Like, if you get with a C6 Faruzan right now, the highest DPS in the game probably is Zhao when he's fighting a ton of enemies. But if you're talking about generally the best DPS at max investment C6 R5, I think it's Yelan. I think it's Yelan in a more like reasonable scenario. Jabba, you guys want to see Jabba? Where is she? Oh, she's chilling in her bed. I don't want to go disrupt her. Or what about C6 Ito? C6 Ito is good as well, but like C6 Ito, there comes a point where Zhao's AoE starts taking over, especially his C6. Like Ito is good in single target and he can function in AoE, but Zhao is just insane in AoE. And Zhao's single target isn't like as bad as it used to be. I mean, with Fadozen coming in now, shredding enemy Anemo resistance and buffing Anemo damage, like yeah, Zhao feels much better. In fact, I have a video where I interviewed a Zhao main. That video will be coming out tomorrow. So for everybody who's watching right now, curious, yeah, I'm going to be releasing a video. I have interviewed a Zhao main. With all my years of Zhao belligerent, it was just time before a Zhao main reached out to me and we talked it out. So yeah. Look forward to that Zhao interview. So I heard a lot of you guys really enjoyed the format for the Hu Tao main interview. So I interviewed a Zhao main. And let me tell you, a Eula main is coming very soon. That's right. Eula main coming to a neighborhood near you, people. Stay tuned for the Eula main interview because that one is... That was gonna be a doozy. I wonder how they're gonna weasel their way out of this one. Will the person be crying at the interview? Hey, I'm not interviewing Venti mains. I'm Eula mains. Interview a Dehya main in the future? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'll definitely want to. I myself desperately even want to make it work. Like I really want to make Dehya work. But I don't know how well Dehya is going to work with Ganyu at the end of the day. Let's see. Oh, Jabba. You guys want to see Jabba? I think we're nearing the end of the stream here. I'll show you guys Jabba and then we will maybe call it. Come on, Jabba. Good girl. Good girl. Jabba, what are you doing? Oh, what happened to your... Hello. Jabba, oh, good girl. She's quite the needy one, if I do say so myself. Good girl. But my legs are quite literally dying, holding her up like this. but it's worth it. Look at her. Look at her. Oh. She is so damn heavy. She has to be around 50 pounds. Maybe 45, 50 pounds-ish. Doggo. Doggo. Dubba. 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 She's right now about 9.5 months. She's almost 10 months old. Ten-month old? Oh, you got a little booger here. Beluga-chan had to go back to Japan to visit family. So right now I'm here taking care of our 3 cats. So we got Jabba, our newest cat, and then we got Michi, the eldest cat, and then we got Hana, the middle child cat. Whew. No lick. Okay, go play. Go play. Go play with your other cat siblings. How old is that in dog year? In dog years. What was dog years? Times 7? But yeah, Jabba is a cat, so Jabba probably is like times 6. She looks like the buff dog in those meme pictures. Yeah, she is so muscular. Dude, like when before she grew out her fur, before she grew out her fur, she looked even more buff. She looked like that buff pig from Family Guy. You guys remember that episode where Stewie was showing Brian his this really muscular pig from the future? Like, that's what she looked like. She was so scary with like all the muscles on her body. I was like, God damn, she's shredded. She's shredded. And then now that she's got some fur out, she feels much more like fuzzy and cuddly. Walrus, what do you think Mika do? I was like, honestly, the more that I thought about it, I thought Mika, is Mika going to be whatchamacallit? Like a melt DPS. That's what I thought Mika was going to do. But now that I think about it, like, it makes sense for him to be a melt DPS, but then I think the first melt DPS should be a 5-star, just so it can like come in with the bang. Oh, I see. Brian Joe says, good cat. Yeah, look at that cat. That cat is humongous. I think sometimes I do feel like I got scammed because they told me the cat was going to be well behaved. But this cat was not well behaved. Taking the virus as well as we're gonna do account review today, maybe next. Yeah, we might have to do it on Wednesday stream. Because next Friday, I think next week we have 3 streams. We have the live stream next Friday, right? God damn! Next Friday is a live stream. I don't think HoYoverse is ready for that heat. Dude, HoYoverse is gonna be like, oh, Dehya is meant to be played in Burning and Burgeon. My god, how are they gonna weasel themselves out of that one? Dude, I can't wait for next Friday's stream because I want to see what people like, which meme they're gonna make in chat. Are they gonna make a Dehya has fallen meme or something like that? I don't know. Has the Dehya memes been thoroughly defeated by HoYoverse? Is my question. As a former Ganyu main, Ganyu is falling off hard and fast po Ayaka. Yeah, Ganyu is not going to be relevant until Melt becomes really, really good. And even then, there might be a 5-star cryo character that comes out that just even replaces Ganyu in Mount. Ganyu is like a decent choice, but overall, if you want the best freeze experience, Ayaka is the better option. Ganyu kind of is a little all over the place. But whereas Ayaka is like dead focused on doing that one thing really, really well. And if there's one thing you need to learn in Genshin is the only characters that are more universal, meaning like they're more like generalized, are the Archons, minus Venti. Everything else struggles to keep up in terms of like when they try to do a little too much, they often fall apart. Like we can see that from the 4-star characters that have failed, such as Jinya and Toma, all the way up to 5-star characters that just don't work in this category very well. And Ganyu is one of the examples where she does quite a lot of things all over the place, but then she can't really hyper focus onto one specific thing. Ganyu does get better with constellations though. C6 Ganyu is still to this day one of, if not the best and most preferred option to use in speedruns. A lot of people still use Ganyu for speedruns. Her charge attack scaling is just that insane. That simple, right? It's just that good. It's just, it takes too long to wind up, and she oftentimes needs a shielder, but her C6 Ganyu doesn't need a shielder anymore, because C6 Ganyu doesn't like have to stand in spot like aiming or charge attacks anymore. That problem goes out the window. C6 changes things for Ganyu. I would say C6 Ganyu is, think about it just like C6 Zhao. That's how transformative of a constellation it is for her. So yeah, she is a character that just gets better and better. I think C6 Ganyu is probably top 5 C6s in the game still to this day. I might say top 3, but I don't know like all of them by heart. But I think top 5 C6 Ganyu. If you ask people who have C6 R5, I think C6 Ganyu is probably one of the characters they use the most. One of. Like, it's just so good. So good. So reliable, so consistent, and satisfying to play. And I think she's not going anywhere in terms of C6. Yeah, she's like a shotgun at C6. But yeah, that's everything I gotta say. Hopium aside, I think Dehya might struggle on release. For sure, especially because theory crafters will likely try to figure things out, and we just don't. It's like trying to finish a puzzle, but you're missing half the pieces. You know what I mean? Like, try imagine, like that's the scenario essentially we're in. You can't finish the puzzle, so theory crafters can try. They can say, okay, I think this piece should go here. I think this piece should go there. I think that piece should go there. But that's just theory, right? That's like, okay, we're missing these pieces to finish the puzzle. But then it's just a waiting game. When are those pieces arriving? Don't know. Okay. The smartest move is to wait for her rerun. Because I think by the time Dehya gets a rerun, she'll start being better. She'll likely get a rerun after, I would say, like maybe a cryo melt character gets released, and then after that, Dehya might come back. Yeah, exactly. Leong T says, pull her when those pieces arrive. There's always reruns. Exactly. For the vast majority of people, I would say skip Dehya. It's also to make a statement to Hoyoverse, like, you know, we're not pulling for your half-ass, like mid-ass, unfinished characters. Right, we do not condone this. We do not support this. So we're not polling. So I think that's going to be great for Hoyoverse to, you know, maybe get a clear picture of what the community wants and needs. And of course, Hoyoverse might just completely ignore it because they're like, you know, we're okay with you skipping her because you're all going to pull her on her rerun. You're all going to regret this, and we're going to make sure you do, right? So we'll see. We'll see. I think that's how Hoyoverse likes to operate. They try to use FOMO to make people scared of skipping characters that they enjoy, because at the end of the day, you just have to believe they're going to be good. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much of this pans out. It might age like milk. It might age like wine. it might age like water. We don't know. So until next time, stay safe, peace, and look out for the Zhao interview tomorrow. That video is a little long, but I think it may be worth your watch. I enjoy these interview videos. I enjoy talking to people. I kept saying to you guys, I enjoy discussions the most, right? So, bye-bye.